It was a slap heard around the world and it seemed to destroy Will Smith's career almost overnight. But is his reputation beyond repair? From a PR perspective, I don't think so. Stick with me and let's dig in. Hi everyone, welcome to the PR Signal. And today what we're going to be doing is talking about Will Smith's career and what he can do today as a result of his Oscar slap that he did. To mention right away, I am not going to go into detail about the slap itself or how his career took a nosedive afterwards. I feel like that's already been done to death. I feel like there's nothing really new to add to that. I think what the far more interesting question is, and the far more interesting thing to look at, is what can Will Smith do today from a PR perspective? What can he do to rebuild his career that hasn't been happening yet? I will quickly point out that everything that Will Smith did from a PR perspective is pretty textbook.
Am I the only one around here who gives a the role?
He accepted responsibility. He apologized. He didn't attack the press or the media or anything like that. And also he avoided attacking critics. And he went and he laid low for a bit. Once it happened, that's exactly what I thought was probably going to happen as well. Because from a PR perspective, you need to, when something like that happens, you need to sit back, look at how everything is happening, look at what's being covered, so that way you can make a plan going forward on what it is that you need to do. But there's one thing about this whole entire situation is this. The incident that happened was not a normal incident. And so therefore, using textbook ways to fix it is probably not going to work because you don't have a textbook problem. You might have to think outside of the box a little bit. Now, far be it for me to make any recommendations. I mean, Smith has one of the best publicists out there. Was Meredith O'Sullivan Wasson of the Letty Company working for him. If anyone can rebuild his reputation, it's going to be them. They have a whole list of other celebrities that they work with as well. And so it's easy to look at this whole entire thing and think that from a PR perspective, at least, that Will Smith, his career is done. It's over. And for some for some celebrities, that is the case. Like, for instance, Mel Gibson, where he has tried everything he can to break out of Hollywood jail, and in many ways he's still there. And he's an Oscar winner as well. But there's one celebrity out there who really punches a hole in the argument that Will Smith can't make a comeback. And I will say that person is Robert Downey Jr. So with that understanding, I think that there's about 3 things that Will Smith can do to potentially rebuild his career and also make a comeback. And starting with this is, number 1, I think what he needs to do is this. I'm actually going to combine 2 points here into one, which is start using this for good and also change the narrative of what that event means. Remember when I mentioned Robert Downey Jr.? He also has his own viral moment as well that signaled a downfall of a career, which was him in a courtroom being handcuffed, going off to jail, and he also has various different mugshots as well.
These are tranquilizer darts. I have enough here to take down Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey.
But here's the thing. He never changed the event, but he ended up changing what that event signified. He ended up changing the narrative about it to where that photo used to mean the downfall of his career, but now that photo actually gives people a lot of hope. It gives people a lot of inspiration to where people use that as an example of nothing is too far gone. And so that is what I think Will Smith needs to do, is start using this event for good. Start using this event in a way that he can start changing the narrative on what that event means, which requires a lot of personal reflection, a lot of growth, like Robert Downey Jr. had to do. For instance, something that Will Smith can potentially do is this. Go to schools and start filling auditoriums with students, where you can go up and you can go on a speaking tour to all these different students and tell them, hey, look, this is what happened to me. Even I'm not perfect. And even though we have negative circumstances in our lives, we can still use that for something good. It depends on how we respond. The book Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl very much points this out. So maybe Will Smith's response to this can be, let's start doing something good with this. Let's start using this in this whole situation in a very positive way. There's a lot of students who need to hear from someone like Will Smith, maybe, who in his book, Will, he had a very rough background. So maybe go out there, start talking to the students, and also that creates a connection with a group of people who are very much going to consume the product that Will creates. But in order for him to change narrative on this, here's the thing he's got to do. He has got to get outside of himself. Up until this point, everything has been about Will's apology, Will's music, Will's movies, Will's feelings, Will's redemption, Will. Start making it about other people. Start investing yourself in other people and see what it is that they can potentially give back. But here's the thing about the school thing. Do not charge for it. Make this a free service that you offer where you go and talk to these students. If you charge for it, then you're going to get the public perception that you're just trying to profit off of this. Do not do that. It also removes any goodwill that you're going to get. These students will also have the story of like, hey, Will Smith came to our school. Man, he is so great. He's so cool. Man, he told us how we can take negative circumstances in our life and turn it into something positive. That's what I'm going through right now, too. It makes Will Smith relatable, and it makes it so that way the next generation of people can really connect with him. Going out, using this experience for something good, that's a narrative that a lot of people can really get behind. Number 2, surround yourself with people who demonstrate the qualities that you want to be known for. For instance, Danny Trejo. He is someone who has a incredible story of someone who's gone to jail, someone who has grown through a rough childhood as well. And he is also an actor who has a lot of, there's a lot of people out there who love him because of the good things that he does.
Everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. Everything. And I go right down the line.
And so even when he has a movie that doesn't do so well, people still love him anyway. He still keeps getting higher because he has a lot of that goodwill. And right now, some of that is what Will Smith is also missing. But it all has to be, along with the school thing, it all has to be in a very genuine way. Which leads me to my third point here, which is this. And this might sound familiar to Will, and it's this: brick by brick. Your career's not going to get built overnight. You can't erase what happened, nor should you. This can potentially be one of the greatest parts of your story. I remember, as I mentioned earlier, the book Will has this beginning where Will Smith was talking about his having to build a brick wall for his dad. And his dad came, smashed the whole entire wall, and Will looked at the space and thought that there's no way you can rebuild another wall where that last one was. And I'm sure in many ways that's probably how Will's feeling right now. But here's also the thing. That wall also did get built. Will is the one trying to rebuild his career. Why not do things in a way that the public ends up rebuilding it for you? For instance, remember the things that brought you here. Remember the things that really went out and made you a celebrity, that made people like you. You felt like the everyday man. You felt like everyone's friend. You felt like people felt like they could connect with you. And to bring some of that back, maybe go out, start pounding some pavement here. Maybe go out and photobomb a couple people. Tom Hanks has done that before and goes viral, and people love it. And also, just make sure you're being genuine about it. And you're going to find, I think, that people will respond pretty well to it. I can't speak to what will work worldwide, because when you're going to be a celebrity at Will Smith's level, you got to be a celebrity everywhere. You can't just simply be in America, which is where I am. So that's what I'm speaking to. But I think a lot of these things can kind of translate worldwide. What did this event inspire? And that can be the new narrative. That can be the new thing that this whole entire situation means. Just like Robert Downey Jr. went out and proved that, yes, it is possible to rebuild your career. It just takes some looking inward. And maybe that's what Will Smith needed, is sometimes things like this happen to bring us back down to ground level, so that way we can rebuild in a much healthier way. And maybe Will Smith needed to take that 4-year break that he's been on, more or less. Sometimes these events, sometimes they're a gift in disguise. What it means to Will as a human being might be what this thing needs to come down to. Maybe for Will to work on some of the things internally that he needed to work on, maybe this whole entire thing he needed to come crashing down, so that way he got enough of a break, enough of a breath to be able to go out and deal with these things. Sometimes things happen for a reason. There's a lot of good that can still come out of this, and I do believe genuinely that that's what can happen. And so for what it's worth, I'm rooting for you, Will. I want to see you come back, but I want to see you come back in a way that is healthy for Will and what Will needs. And maybe what's healthy for Will is not coming back. Maybe Will just needs to sit back and go, you know what? I think I have a different purpose now. I think I really want to go and do this thing. How about all of you? Do you think Will Smith can rebuild his career? If Will Smith came to your school and greeted you and everything like that, would you be for it? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.